Don't blink, it's your boy Yink. Welcome to welcome to our show. Doing well because having a wonderful day on this glorious 28th August 2025. Today we're talking about something that is a little bit controversial. And when I say a little bit, I mean of course a lot, of course. Because why not? I feel like doing it, so I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. And you're gonna hear me talk a lot, look at this a lot. This is a brand new tower that we're doing, which is uno, doi, tre, patru. Yesterday I had a argument with someone, and it was stupid because I joined. I'm not gonna say the person name because I feel bad, of course, because it's one of my first time joining his live, and I had an argument in his chat. I was watching a Pokemon randomizer, and it was really fun because what they did was they took a game that was I believe was Advance War. And that was just super cool. Now, what they did with Advance War is they mod the game so you can have Pokemon instead of the characters. And I started watching it, and I just saw, um, and this all happened live. Of course, what I'm gonna tell you guys didn't happen live, but the genesis of the ID, the principle, was there. So the person was talking about how fish tanks was kind of shit. And another person was like, "Yo, the whole industry, not the industry, sorry, the whole history of Sam Hyde is nuts." And it's crazy because I last year discovered Sam Hyde, and Sam Hyde was quite important to me. And I was like, dude, this guy is awesome. Then I saw why people didn't like him. I saw why people misjudge him. I kind of got away from the content because I was like, f that. And then lately, I've been watching a lot of content because lately we restarted streaming on a larger scale. So I started restreaming on a larger scale, which meant that we were watching more content. We started watching Fish Tanks, and Fish Tank is possibly the most chaotic show. And again, it made me want to watch Sam Hyde's content, as it may be podcast. How did I discover Sam Hyde? I discovered him. This is a big video that's supposed to be defending Sam Hyde, but I'm gonna talk about this later and later. I hope it makes sense. I don't know if it does. Again, the only insurance that I have that a video makes sense is once I film it. And then once I film it, I upload it. And if people say, hey, don't make sense, well, fuck, I messed up, you know? So, the old principle of Sam Hyde, I met him through iDubbbz. iDubbbz, I didn't like iDubbbz. I don't like iDubbbz. Because of this whole, like, oh my god, it's gonna be a long story. Fuck, I didn't want to make a long video. Okay, so the whole thing, one of my biggest heartbreak with the hardest was Ronnie Radke. I got on my body tattooed "The Drug in Me Is You." I was depressed. This song really helped me out. Years later, Ronnie Radke was like, "Dude, I cannot do. People that like this song are stupid." And I was like, "Okay, well, you can dislike the fact that she did this song, but talking about how the public that made you famous gave you what you have is stupid. It's kind of weird, right? Plus, there's a song that means something to me." And it was kind of messed up, right? So iDubbbz did the same thing, but with a content cop. Say, oh, I partake in a culture that was quite toxic to YouTube. Oh, yes, you were, but back then that was it. If it wasn't you, it was gonna be Rice Gum. If it wasn't you, it was gonna be Team 10. YouTube back then was toxic, but it was chaos, which is fish tanks. So I'm in the chat and I'm talking. I'm like, yo, I like Sam Hyde, and a mod of the person muted me and blocked me. But the first thing the last thing I was able to see was like, oh, you must be a racist because you like Sam Hyde. Okay, so let's talk about this, right? So let's talk about this, and I feel like this is kind of important because I feel like this cancel culture touching the content creator is good, but okay, the content creator, the content creator itself is liable for what he says. The viewer can find something interesting or can be watching. I've been watching DSP for 4 years as not a detractor, but I've been watching the detractor channel. Does that mean I hate DSP? No. Do I like DSP? No. I think he's a douchebag, but I think that he's entertaining. So my whole goal when I'm watching content is what? Being entertained. Cool. So the whole thing of being liable to who you watch is Okay, that makes sense, right? For example, we're going to go a little bit politics, right? If you're only watching people that are democratic, I'm Canadian, does affect me, but I feel like if I talk like that, people are going to be understanding, and the whole goal of this is to be understood. Um, let's say that you're watching only content creators that are Republican, right? Chances are that you're going to be thinking, you're going to be radically. I don't know if Republicans are right or left. I'm Canadian. Are they right or left? But you're gonna be thinking like, oh, yo, I agree with them because all I'm hearing is people circle jerk, right? So I'm gonna be thinking like that, right? Or then, for example, if you're watching somebody that is representative of the left debate, so Charlie Kirk does that, Jordan Peterson does that. You're watching the content that he does to be able to present to be able to represent to him a point of view. For example, there was this whole Jordan Peterson talking about how you worship someone, you worship a relationship, right? And there was a student that's like, no, you don't worship a relationship. You shouldn't say that. This is wrong. You only worship God. Now, what he said was true. You should only worship God because if you watch the Bible, if you watch the Quran, false idol are very bad, and the false idol is what? False idol is that. Cool. So how does that matter with Sam Hyde? I feel like you in the answer this made more sense, right? So do I like Sam Hyde? Absolutely. I love Sam Hyde. Okay, so what I was saying with Jordan Peterson and Charlie Kirk is, if you're watching the guy just to rebuke him, then you're wasting your time, right? You can watch somebody that you don't agree with for entertainment purpose, and that's a better use of your time than just to say, oh, well, I hate watching this person. And lately I've been seeing that a lot with Lolcow, and although I'm super entertained, the general notion of Lolcow is terrible. I saw a video today about the ESP, and it was the best thing we milked in a while. So milk because it's a Lolcow, right? This is milk and veg, and there's an event that happened like 10 years ago, and oh, you're milking it, right? So I thought it was very cool that I finally understood the terminology. So Sam Hyde, and of course I was kind of kicked out, and then I know I'm not racist, and my mentality behind it was like, okay, well, I should have defended myself. Fun fact: I went to get my phone fixed 2 weeks ago, and this guy is very religious, and we're talking about how people wrong you and what is the right thing to do. And it's like, you have to be selfish. Like, if you have to fight, you have to fight. So I'm like, okay, well, I feel I was disrespected because I just said that I like watching this guy. Not that I agree with him, that I like watching him. And I was called a racist. So then you're putting on the blame on the people that you're... I wouldn't say, like, for example, oh, this is my favorite video of him. In this video, there's... I'm not talking about Sam Hyde. I'm talking about a general content creator. But, it's funny. Let's go away from that because I'm constantly coming back to it. So let's just talk about the content creator. Content creator, let's call him X, right? Constantly coming back to X, and you're talking about a specific video. In that specific videos, X does say some pretty effed up stuff. So the fact that this is your favorite video is this one you relate to, or you resonate with this video more than others. So I was talking, okay, and I was like, how would I debate this? And I don't like debating, but actually this is a question of a society. Let's not be judged. People are going to be judging you for listening to emo music, or you're emo. Yeah, so who cares, right? Fun fact, somebody actually, when I talk about King Cobra, I was a big fan of King Cobra, GFS, and I was watching the comments when he passed away sadly last week, and people were saying, oh, this guy should have died instead. I was like, you guys are insane. You guys are insane. Say that in the video, you're cancelled, right? And I was like, you should be able to defend yourself, right? So this is for people are willing to go. I don't know. The whole point of it was I wasn't tell people, okay, you can look at me. If you know the content, and by this video alone you're able to guess, I am not normal, right? Most of my thinking is outside the box. Most of what I say is outside the box. And sport, I am not normal. But at the same time, I believe that, um, I do believe that I'm a good person, right? So by saying that you're not normal, if I'm watching something different than you, right, you would say, okay, well, that's okay because this guy is not normal. I'm watching things that are. If you're gonna say that you're representative of what you watch, so for example, people used to say you are what you eat, which, again, insane. But if you're representative of what you watch, if you represent what you're watching, if you're watching a content creator and you're representative of that content creator, um, then if you're outside the box or if you're weird, then I'm not watching him. I'm not like you. I'm normal, right? And some people will cherish the fact that they're normal. Some people will be accepting the fact that they're different. I think difference is important in society. Henceforth, I don't mind being super, super, super different, right? So I was gonna say like, well, okay, you can agree that I'm not that I'm different than you, right? That's why you're watching different content than I do. I'm allowed to watch what I want to watch, and you're allowed to watch what I want to watch, right? But you're also it's also important to say that you might be watching something just because it's great. If you watch my tattoos, I got Majora's Mask tattoos, and I love the lore of Majora's Mask. I love the lore. And then I grew up and I was like, okay, well, this is just a fun game to play. This is just a fun, like, 13 hours, 15 hours game to play. And I started playing this for that. And it wasn't about the lore anymore. When I'm watching fish tanks, for example, what a chaos. I'm not watching fishing for lore. It's just a degeneracy. I watch Local Live, LCU, because it's just degenerate content. I watch Outdoors Boy yesterday because it's just a father. I don't even watch Outdoors Boy because it's outdoors. I watch Outdoors Boy because I think that the guy inside, Luke, is a good dad, and I aspire to be a good dad. So by watching another good dad, I can tell myself like, what? Yeah, this is a good example of what you should do. Okay, this is a good example of what a good dad should do. And for some reason, this is enough for me to watch a show. The chaos is enough for me to watch another show. See, it's all relevant on what you're actually, how you actually view things. So then, you're able to watch what you want to watch. I'm able to watch what I want to watch, right? So even by saying that, it doesn't mean that you are agreeing with everything that this person that you're watching is saying. You can agree on some of the things they're saying, some of other things that they're saying. You don't agree as much, so you're like, okay, well, guess what? This is a bit odd, right? But chances are there's a part of it that you agree with, right? And at the same time, I'm sure that every single person watched something that we're not supposed to watch, right? I was born in the 90s, so corn wasn't that available. Internet was pretty new. Corn wasn't available. I started watching a lot of corn when I was younger. I used to play on Newground, right? And it was a website. And on Newground, there was some corn game, game containing some corn. And I would watch that, and I would play that. I was 10, 11 years old, right? So that's how I discovered. Most people would go to corn, most people to a specific artist. I went to video games, and you know, and I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed with it. It was very unhealthy, but at the same time, I'm being honest about it. This is part of who I am. This is part of who is representative of me. This is part of my past, and this is something that I'm agreeing with. But porn was so rare that there's some game that I played that it wasn't even that good, but it was just there. You didn't have a lot of choice, right? With a person like Sam Hyde, I see a person that is not afraid to be weird, not afraid to be completely insane. He's not afraid to be himself, right? And I love that. I watched a video where there's a guy who chipped his wife, and she broke the table. And the guy said, "What the fuck? You chipped my wife?" She's like, "What the fuck? She broke my table." You know? So it's just nonsense. Where I want to go with the corn is it a better way to do it than watching an artist? If you discovered your sexuality on a particular artist, it's not super healthy because this whole entire part of your being is representative of one person, right? And that's pretty much it. So I was watching Billie Eilish talking about that. How she used to watch really, really intense corn, and she kind of went against that. She's like, "Oh, I wasn't supposed to watch that." But then at the same time, it's part of who you are. It's part of your growing up. And even though she denounced that, she denounced it because it went too far, you know. And I think that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm watching this content creator, right? And everybody denounced, right? And I'm like, oh well, I'm watching it, and there possibly is a time where this person's gonna say something, and I'm gonna go like, you went too far, bro. You went too far. I can't do this anymore with you. I cannot do this with you anymore, right? And then you're watching someone, you're able to have your own opinion. I agree with what they're saying. I don't agree with what they're saying. Again, am I watching this person to be entertained or to be, oh, no. I thought I saw something, but it was it was something else. So I've been looking for. I have this it's stupid. I have this pork, right? And I love this pork, and I cannot find this pork, so I don't know where it is. But Spork, if you're watching this, I am looking for you. Yeah, so you're able, and then at the same time, you're able to you're able to watch something and not necessarily embody it. I watch a lot of DSP. The worst thing is I relate to DSP a lot on his flaws. Do I see myself in him? No. I watch a lot of content creator. Do I see myself in them? No. So it's kind of like dichotomy, which is kind of important, right? And at the same time, I'm not gonna stop myself from watching somebody that entertained me because the other people are saying, "Oh, he went too far. Oh, he's going." I am able to form a critical judgment. I am able to form a critical opinion on he went too far or not. Again, do I agree with everything that he's saying? No. Am I entertained? Yes. Fish Tank is amazing. I grew up watching Big Brother. I grew up watching my phone do, which is a dating show. I grew up watching. Oh my god! I grew up watching Rock of Love. I grew up watching Two Shots of Love. I grew up watching Paris Hilton, New Friend. I grew up watching so many. Charm School, Douchebag 101. Holy shit, that was a good show. That was a good show. I grew up watching Jersey Shore. Those were all reality TV. We don't have that anymore. And when we do have that, it's always a question of, is it scripted? Give me chaos. Give me what it was supposed to be. You know? That's nuts. That is nuts. That is a desire, right? So now we have two people that are watching different stuff, right? And again, at the same time, talk about corn. Corn, why am I talking about corn? Okay, corn is also very representative of this. When you're watching corn, it's an intimate moment. When you're listening to music, it could be a emotional distress, it could be a emotional release, it could be a dose of endorphin, it could be sleep-inducing. There's a multiple reason to listen to music. You're watching a show, you want to be entertained, you want to be you want to spend time. Oh man, I have this bus ride to do in this 1 hour. Okay, let's watch something. As entertainment. Right now, I'm playing okay, this is perfect. This is not planned, but this is perfect. I'm playing this idle game, right? And I have to watch it every single 20 minutes, otherwise I die. This one, I can spend 4 hours. This one, 4 hours. This one, 8 hours. I don't have to do anything because it will be done for me. Now, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to make sense. It doesn't need to make sense, okay? I just tell you how it is, and if you agree with it, you agree with it. If you don't, you don't. So it's kind of cool in itself because, how can I say this? It's kind of cool in itself because this wasn't planned, but it is. I'm watching something because I'm bored, right? So if you're watching something to be entertained like that, why corn? Corn is important because corn is, I'm watching something because I got a need. Is it a sexual need or something else? I love this girl and she's on this scene. There's a parasocial relationship. I think that she loves me back because I spend a lot of money, which is very simpy. But you think that you love this person and they love you back because they pay attention to you. And there's a parasocial relationship. What you're fixing a need. Is it a sexual need or emotional need, right? And guess what? Both of those are kind of private. Both of those are kind of in a corner. You're doing it and I'm not gonna brag about, I watched this porn video yesterday and it was amazing. You should. One of my favorites are Karen Cross. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Karen Cross, amazing, right? Now, this is also super important because by being afraid of saying who you watch, by being afraid of being judged, you're kind of being afraid of, just like corn. Oh, you watch this corn, dude? That's weird. Oh, that's weird. So because of that, you're not going to tell which corn you watch. But it's completely, completely, completely different. It is fundamentally different. Why? Well, that's a good question. Why is it so different? Well, because corn is something that's private. What you watch shouldn't be private. I grew up in the 90s. There was SpongeBob. I used to watch SpongeBob. It's perfect. I was going to school at 7 o'clock. SpongeBob was playing at 6 o'clock, so I had time to watch it before I went to school. And it was really freaking nice. I was proud to say, hey, I watched SpongeBob. Did you watch SpongeBob? Now we're afraid of that. We're afraid of it. And then what do you do is, and that sucks. That sucks. Because then what you do is everybody's watching the same people. Everybody's gonna be watching the top channel, Mr. Beast, and people that are PC. And then people are gonna be watching someone that's popular versus that's controversial. Because if you're watching someone that's controversial, you'll have those controversial ID, and you'll be controversial. Henceforth, you'll be pushed out away from the square of cool people, right? And we became afraid of that, right? So with this person, I was man enough. I was mature enough to say, yes, I like this person, right? Got judged, got kicked out of the stream, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But I was man enough to say that, right? And it goes back to corn. If somebody were to ask me what kind of corn you watch, somebody asked me last week, and she's super cute, so shout out to her. She asked me what corn I watch. I was able to tell her, right? There was no judgment. Possibly, there was a lot of judgment on her part, possibly, but she didn't say so, right? I'm more afraid of the person who doesn't want to share what he's watching. I'm more afraid of the person who doesn't share. And again, should you? This is such a fucked up thing, because should you share this? No, it should be personal. It should be something that you're able to watch on your, in the privacy of your home. But it becomes something else. It becomes something else. The whole comment section, the whole stream, the chat, right? The whole chat. And the fact that somebody that's super popular, Rice Gum, had to view bot his first stream, so people would come in, and this person made a whole empire through a lie. Did he make a whole empire through a lie? No, because he took that original push and he built it. He built it, you know? And that's amazing. So all of this to say, watch who you want to watch. Who gives a shit? Do what you want to do. Who gives a shit? But most of all, be yourself. And that is phenomenal. So I'm going to let you guys go. Got a ton of stuff to do. I love you guys. Weird video. Hey, listen. I'm a weird dude. I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.